Loyalty inside my DNA. Broken quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though, ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this, one like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like this, which else you a new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your fucking head. This that put against the bed. This that I got realness, I just know shit cause this in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got dark, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA. I just win again, then win again, like Wimbledon I serve. Yeah, that's him again, the sound that engine in is like a bird. You see fireworks and Corvette tires skirt the boulevard. I know how you work, I know just who you are. See, use a bitch, you almost probably switch inside your DNA. Problem is, all that sucker shit inside your DNA. Daddy probably snitch, heritage inside your DNA. Backbone don't exist, burn on side a jellyfish I gauge. Grievous definitely right the front. Shit I been through barely offend you, this is Paula's oldest son. I know murder, conviction, burners, boosters, burglars, ballers, dead. Redemption, scholars, fathers, dead. With kids and I wish I was fed. Forgiveness, yeah. Soldier's DNA, born inside the beast. My expertise checked out in second grade. When I was 9, on that motel, we didn't have nowhere to stay. At 29, I've done so well, hit cartwheel in my estate. And I'm gon' shine like I'm supposed to, antisocial extrovert. And excellent mean an extrovert. And absentness, the fuck you with. And passiveness, never struck my nerve. And that's a break when I be this case. The beast for power, zip. Salute the truth and the prophecy. I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Cut 'em out, cut 'em out, cut 'em out, cut 'em out.
Welcome to the Friday Nights. I'm Jason Sandberg. Fellas, I had a fantastic week. As you can see behind me, I am on assignment in Portland, Oregon. And when I have not been at work on assignment, I've been hunting down comic books. I picked up these two beauties. This is 1981 Dr. Solar, Man of the Atom. Artwork by Dan Spiegel. He's the gentleman who illustrated Crossfire, which was published by Eclipse Comics. Love that series. Love Dan Spiegel. Was happy to find these. I'm only missing like 2 more of that little run. As usual, Jupiter. I'm hard at work in issue 2. Issue 1 remains in demand on Fun My Comic and Indiegogo. On the way to 10K, so go check that out. I am 90% pneumonia free, better than 80%, which was last week. So I'm on the mend. Greg, how was your week?
My week's good. With Arrow Comics, I've been hunting down a book that I've been trying to grab, The Shadow Kingdom, which I understand is now available on Amazon. I just figured out I never received my book when I did the background. They're working on the Atlantean, which I know our previous host was a big Atlantis fan. But they just did a sign up for the Atlantean. If you haven't seen links for that, that's Russ Leach. I'll try to get him on, but you know me, I can be hard nosed sometimes. As an Arrow Comics creator, you've got to send me the book that I already want to read before I'll back the new one. So it's only live for 34 days. We'll see what happens. Meantime, I'm always gonna pitch your guys' books. I guess.
Hey, there we go.
More Rising
That's a
One.
pretty cover.
Mortal Rising 2 is now funding. And as Jason said, I got my signed copy of
Nice.
Jupiter right here. But yeah, no new books this week, unfortunately. So I'm just working on the house and playing a lot of Fortnite. How was your week, Aaron?
My week was great. So in the mail, I received a nice little gift. I'm not trying to kiss too much butt, but yeah, I haven't had time to read it yet. But I'm wearing my swag. So there you go, gentlemen. You may be jealous. It's fine. But yeah, great week. A lot of overtime, and that's what we do.
Dude, I told you, wait on the overtime. Wait
till after Trump. Got it.
Yeah, tax free.
I can't do that. I got bills to pay. You know what I mean? Anyways, Michael, thank you for joining us. What did you have going on this week?
A lot of drawing, a lot of sketching, being productive on that side of things. But in terms of new books, nothing new. But I got around to reading the second part of this Gilgamesh series. Oh, wow. I've had for a while.
Okay.
I read the first one ages ago, and then I finally read the second one, which and now I need the third one. And cool thing is, I just learned that the French government just did a thing where they've really dropped the shipping prices on any of their French literature. Yeah. They're trying to encourage it to go kind of more global because this stuff, a lot of it people don't know about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And these are great books. I just actually read through this one just before on my channel. It's a lot of fun. Really cool books.
Any influences from that?
Oh yeah, I mean not from these ones specifically, but just from French books in general. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, I'm all about the sort of Euro style.
Nice, nice. All right, Craig, who's in the chat tonight?
Yeah, so it looks like you've been beating Vulcan. I don't know if it's a race for you or Vulcan or what.
Where's Vulcan? Oh, there he is. He's there. Sorry.
Yeah, I caught that as well. Mark's Music Obsessions joining us. Is hail chat. Evening, guys. Hail to you as well, Mark. Thank you for
joining. What's up,
Mark? Jake Martin, long time no see. Same. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for helping this channel. Here's Aaron's handle here, Political Real World. Yeah, so I threw that together. As you know, I've been running out of mashups, good mashup videos. So I've just been sort of creative as best as I can to throw something together in the beginning. So to hit on
Craig.
Yes.
No, Craig, you're in Canada. So can Gavin Newsom arrest you from California if you're in Canada? Because I think that was some AI deep fake stuff there.
Luckily, the laws our prime minister wants to put in are not in place yet, but no doubt if he was reelected, he's good friends with Gavin. I could see some sort of extradition taking place. So let's just hope in the next year or so he gets the boot. But Jackknife says, what song was the intro you're using? After we have this episode, I'm actually going to unlock a video related to it. But I took the song from a creator called Abs on the Beat, ABS on the Beat. You look him up on YouTube. He's the one who mashed up with Kendrick Lamar and Huna Mankind. That's where I got that song from.
No, wait a minute. You're Canadian and you just said a boot. That's great. Instead of about, hey, I'll take the laughs wherever I can.
It's all good. Let's see who else. Levi's joining us.
What up?
In the chat, hail to you as well, Levi. Philbo Baggins, greetings and salutations all. Greetings and salutations to you as well.
Bilbo.
And, Edwin Acevedo, that's another creator we gotta hit up at some point.
Definitely.
Ask him if he wants to come on the show. He's on Ace Volume 3 now. That's another one. I haven't picked up Volume 1 and Volume 2. I've always been I'm gonna wait a book or two.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I just picked up the Ace now on the third book and Perfect 10 on the fifth book.
Good stuff.
Now I'm gonna hold. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's if I know I'm gonna back it anyway eventually, it actually works out to be the same.
It's better than paying shipping for volume 1, shipping volume 2, shipping volume 3. Yeah.
And plus you kind of get to see, you just sort of get to see, who's in it for the long run, and
that too.
You get to hear back. And I've heard great things about both those books. So,
yes. But
time
yeah,
to jump
definitely
on.
we can get Edwin on here. I make no secret. I pretty much back books when they come on my show nowadays. That's how I do it.
I saw
So,
or
Craig,
I bought Bloodbone, and that's really good. A little ash can. I think
Mhm.
Dillard did that one, so it was a good one.
I think it was Donald.
Donald
Mhm.
Delay.
Yeah, and I got the one with Shelby cover on it. I still haven't gotten to
nice.
that one yet, but got a stack piling up.
It happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Did you have a question for me, Jason?
the joke left the barn. It's all good.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Here's Chris jumping in the chat. Says,
Hey,
What up, Chris?
Hey, Chris. Good to see you. And we got Belmont. Belmont's jumping in here. I was just on Belmont's show this Thursday.
When is he
Good
out
one.
for the pencils down thing? When is that?
Yeah, I got to talk to him again. We keep working through our guest lists. He's going to come in November. He's going to bring pencils down on the show in November.
Mhm.
I don't have the date nailed down. Oh boy, Edwin's saying there's only 3 days left to grab his book. Okay, no, thanks for putting the deadline down. Yeah, and yeah, that's everyone that's in the chat so far. So
All right. So Belmont pointed out I don't have any Cool Ranch. You are correct. I'm roughing it here in the hotel, Belmont. I may have to walk down the street to the gas station to see if I can get myself a bag later. But have a great weekend, Belmont. Good to see you.
And Chris sounds like he's injured. He put out his back.
Oh no!
It's
Chris,
all right.
do you need us to call you an ambulance?
I'm pretty sure he's got a good hookup on some painkillers, so he'll be all right.
But so we have
All right.
62 in the chat currently at this time. So 62 watching. Thank you so much.
63 people. Thank you for spending your time with us to kick off your weekend. And I have been sequestered in this hotel room, running around. I have no idea what happened in the news this week. So, Craig, I'm looking forward to getting caught up on the top 3 news items of this past week because I've been sequestered.
Yes.
Top.
And anyone joining us for the show and doesn't know how the format for the Friday nights works, we come to you every single Friday. This is now the 61st episode. I've been here every single Friday for 61 Fridays. 90 minutes. We cover 3 news topics with 1 guest creator. Always keeps the show interesting, and we just find whatever craziness has happened that week. Michael's joining us again. Thank you so much for joining us. The link for his sign up, Fractured Death, is pinned to the top of my YouTube. Fractured Mind. Sorry. Fractured Mind is pinned to the top of my chat. Please, at some point, click that, sign up, throw your email in there. You're not going to want to miss this next book. So with that. Okay. Our first topic comes to us from Explorer's Web. Pigeon missiles and breathing through your anus, the 2024 Ig Nobel Prize. So apparently every year they run this Ig Nobel Prize where all these scientists find all these weird eccentricness in science and these weird funny things, and then they have basically a competing in each category, and it's just sort of something funny wackiness in science. But I don't know if you want to take the lead on this, Aaron, because I think this is one.
All right. So in celebration of this one, I have a nice little quiz. We're going to guess on past Ig Nobel. How do you pronounce it? Ig Nobel Prize, right? Ig Nobel prizes over the years. So if you would like, go ahead and go with the first slide.
Okay.
Now, is this all taxpayer-funded research? Is that
of course. Of course it is.
No doubt it is.
All right. So keeping that in mind with the craziness of Pigeon guided missiles, what was the Ig Nobel Prize awarded for discovering about ducks? All right. So how this works is I'm going to give you three possible answers. You guys guess which one is right. And the winner, we take this very serious. The winner gets a point, and whoever wins at the end, we have to see your tits. No, all right. So
people remember, people, regardless of who wins this contest, this game, we've all lost. But go ahead.
Just start playing it.
Before you start, Aaron, they didn't do this study in Springfield, did they? I'm hoping.
Yeah. Watch out for Just guard your ducks. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. What was the Ig Nobel Prize awarded for discovering about ducks? Was it A, they can fly backwards? B, homosexual necrophilian in ducks? C, ducks have a preference for classical music? I can read those again.
I'll let
Looks
you
like,
guys answer.
Jason's-
I actually know.
Jason's
I think I actually
processing.
know this one. I remember it.
Oh, yeah?
All right. A, they can fly backwards. B,
Okay.
homosexual necrophilia in ducks. Or C, ducks have a preference for classical music. Yeah.
I'm going to agree with Levi. I'm going to say C.
Classical
I think-
music. That's a good one.
I'm thinking that given that it's 2024, it's got to be the necrophilia.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go with.
Really?
I will take homosexual necrophilia for 200, Aaron.
Really? Yes, indeed. It is in fact homosexual necrophilia in ducks.
I remember.
So-
I remember the video.
Oh God. You saw there's a video. Of course there's a video. It's the internet. All right, next slide.
Ducks
So,
are crazy, man. Ducks are
What's that?
nasty. A lot of
Yeah, they got like the
penguins as
corkscrew
well.
penis,
So penguins are really nasty.
like very
Oh.
rapey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, clearly
So-
very rapey.
So, guys, given that this is the era of the slippery slope, are we now going to be told that necrophilia is natural? Is that?
So, yeah, they're gonna point to the ducks. This is a naturally occurring
Oh.
behavior.
It happens.
Ducks do
Yeah,
it.
that-
Ducks do it.
hey, that's the real N word. All right. Next slide. There we go. Ig Nobel Economics in Liechtenstein. So, anybody's guess, what was the Ig Nobel awarded in relation to economics and Liechtenstein? Was it A, for having the world's smallest economy? B, for making it possible to rent the entire country for events? Or C, for introducing Bitcoin as its main currency?
Well, I don't want to make fun of Liechtenstein because I'm pretty sure they kicked Canada's ass. So I'm going to go with Bitcoin.
Yeah. First ones.
Yeah, I'll go with Bitcoin.
I think the
There we go.
Bitcoin is the only one that seems like it could be somewhat.
It's a rider. Yeah. Actually, no, it was B, for making it possible to rent the entire country for events.
How small is this place?
The postage stamp. No, I
And how much is it to rent it?
yeah.
Well, it's right next door to
Wait.
Dr. Doom's, country. So
Yeah.
If you rent it but you break it or damage it, what happens?
Yeah, what's the bond
Insurance.
situation? Do you get that back?
I can see.
what do you suppose Diddy? Did you suppose Diddy would rent the whole country and just have a
Right.
big freak
a
party?
freak party? Yeah. Well, that's what's about to get it. What happens if some sort of crazy tyrant rents the place and like a B&B squatter just never leaves? Then what do they do?
Oh, shit.
Oh yes, yes. That's hey, dude. You just came up with a great elevator pitch for Netflix movie.
Mm.
That's just great. Okay.
All right, next slide. I like it. All right, the Ig Nobel Scorpion research. Gosh, what are our scientists doing anymore? Like for real? Okay, what scorpion research was awarded an Ig Nobel Prize? Was it A, the effectiveness of scorpion semen as a face moisturizer? B, their running speed when constipated? Or C, scorpion preference of music genre? Again,
I'm gonna
Apparently they
say
like-
it's yeah. So the only thing practical I could see would be the running speed, because potentially that might be that might give somebody a fighting chance against the scorpions. That would be something that I think our government would wisely invest taxpayer funds in.
fighting
go-
chance.
Well,
Yeah.
Running while constipated, very important.
Yep. Put some tax money into that, guys.
I've been watching Cranberry Langers, and he looks like he's a ringer, and he knows what he's talking about. But I was thinking the same thing. Botox is a big thing, right? People wanting to get rid of wrinkles. So the
Okay.
whole semen and scorpion venom for getting rid of facial wrinkles, I could see that.
All right, well,
The
then I'll
links
go with
women
musical
will go
preference,
to.
so that
What's
it's
that?
one each.
basically, I think we all picked one of them, Aaron. So
Yeah.
All right. The answer is their running speed when constipated.
And what
Yeah.
was their running speed when constipated? What's the differential?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's probably like weight distributed. I'm not sure. Just kidding.
Levi doesn't doubt the authenticity of the show. No. Everything
70
we come to
grand.
with you,
It's a thing.
So wait a minute. So
Deal.
Levi, here's your homework assignment. What would it cost Elon Musk to live in Liechtenstein for the rest of his life, assuming he lives another 50 years, and therefore have diplomatic immunity? Let us know how long he could go.
He could become a real world Doctor Doom. By just renting the country and becoming its overlord.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, seriously.
What else are you gonna do with all that money? What?
Thank you.
Go to
You
Mars?
beat me to it. What else you gonna do? Exactly. Come on. We know how this plays out. All right. Next slide, please.
Yes.
Here we go.
Hey. All right.
No nudity. We don't know what's going on below the shoulder. All right. Ig Nobel wasabi. What was the Ig Nobel Prize for involving wasabi? Was it A, using wasabi as a vaginal probiotic? B, creating wasabi flavored ice cream? Or C, determining the ideal density of airborne wasabi to wake someone?
Given the proliferation of homeless people on the streets of San Francisco and every major American city, I think the police would probably say, what's a non-lethal way to wake up these homeless fentanyl people and get them off the street? I'm going to go with the waking up the sleeping homeless people. That's my vote.
All right.
Yeah, the ice cream one sounds most realistic, but that's not really a science thing. I would think that's more like a chef thing. So I'm gonna go with the spray as well.
Yeah. I'm in agreement. New sort of like pepper spray, bear spray. Yeah, that makes sense.
No, it was yes, it was determining the ideal density of airborne wasabi to wake a person.
All right.
I'm sure there are some women who would be into that.
I mean, it kills all the bad bacteria, right? I don't know. She seems to like it.
Cranberry language stuff, probiotic. Levi came up with your research science. It says $1.2 billion. That's all it would cost him.
Elon, you can do it.
Yeah, it's like a weekend for him, isn't it?
Actually, Mark Cuban's watching this right now, and now he's going to go do it.
He's going to go buy Liechtenstein. Yeah. All right. Thank you for playing.
Thank you for the quiz. Before we move to the next topic, I do want to ask Mr. Bancroft. There was a William S. Burroughs novel called The Naked Lunch. Wasn't breathing through your anus part of the novel A Naked Lunch? Does that ring a bell?
I'm not familiar with it. No.
All right. Those of you who are beat novelist aficionados, let me know if there was a vignette inside The Naked Lunch about breathing through the anus. Hey,
Yeah.
I know it's possible to breathe through your eyes. People have done that.
Oh yeah, the sinuses. Sure.
Oh wow.
Okay. You ever seen that underwater? Somebody will blow, like they'll hold their nose and then blow air bubbles out of their tear ducts.
Wow. No. I guess that would work. That's crazy.
The things you learn on the show. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
I mean, I'm still an idiot, but I'm a well-rounded idiot now. So
yeah.
Get rid of the Department of Education. Just watch the Friday nights.
That's right. Okay, so topic number 2 for tonight comes from Sky News. I usually don't use like Sky News, but in any case, DNA stored on crystal could bring back humanity billions of years after our extinction. So essentially, they take all these different seeds and stuff in these Austrian caves, and they're basically trying to save civilization and humanity and life. In case an extinction event happens, these salt mines, you could go in there, and they're trying to preserve everything they can. So what scientists have now figured out they can do is they can take the entire human genome and download it onto a crystal, and it doesn't age, it doesn't wear. Essentially, it could be discovered billions of years down the road. It's even got a key in it for how to read it, and essentially the human DNA would be preserved indefinitely. So,
Michael Bancroft, have you seen the movie Species?
Ooh, a long time ago. Long time
Yeah.
ago.
Aaron, do you think this is? Did they basically just back engineer the movie Species?
Yes, that's exactly what happened. And we're gonna have sexy models who turn into crazy aliens in the future. I can't wait.
I hope whose ever genome it is hot.
right.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Bring back the people that are like ripped and good looking and not some ugly, slovenly.
Some potato. Yeah.
Cave
Yeah.
dwellers. Yes.
I'm
Like, oh, that's
reminded.
lovely.
I'm reminded of this episode where Albert Einstein was at some sort of party, and this Hollywood actress came up to him and said, if you and I got married and had a child, it would be the most beautiful and smart kid in the world. And Albert Einstein said, well, it would just as likely end up with your brains and looking like me.
Yeah. Then he married his cousin.
Craig, does this give you fear the way the movie like Jurassic Park gives me fear? What's your take on this, Craig?
I'm honestly not too worried about it because the high likelihood that some sort of alien species is going to travel all those vast light years to come to Earth post our species existing and then finding this random cave in Austria and then digging in there and then finding all the stuff that got stored away. We're just now finding stuff that we didn't know was buried in the ground 3,000 years ago. So no, I'm not going to lose any sleep over this.
Well, and I mean, look at the track record of Austrians in genetics. It's not always great for everybody. So,
Aaron, so you're given the cost and the time involved with space travel. What if they build this rocket and they've got like stored like proteins and stuff like that? But the point is, they've got robots, AI robots that fly the rocket ship all the way to like Alpha Centauri or whatever. And then when they get there, they take the raw material from the protein tanks and the genetic blueprint, and then they make the people. Instead of sending astronauts in hibernation, you send the genetic material and the genetic plan, and you like build the people when you get there. What do you think?
I think that sounds pretty hot because you could like Bancroft was saying, you make them all pretty. It turns into like this hot resort. Yeah, I would definitely. I'm for it. Let's have. Wait a minute. Superhumans. I don't know.
How do we know
Look
that?
it up.
How do we know
So, Michael,
life already goes through the galaxy, sort of in effect, right? It hitches a ride on a comet and seeds various planets. It's basically doing the same thing.
Yeah, I heard somewhere, and I don't know how true this is. I heard somewhere that all the water on Earth came from space, just through bombardment over billions of years, and that just blows your mind. How much water there is, and how much bombardment there would have had to been for that to get here, and get trapped.
You'd assume it would still be going on though, right? Like we'd still see.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah,
water.
I guess so. I think
water not burn up.
Actually, there's stuff that gets lost and stuff that comes in is sort of like evens out. So it's pretty crazy. Now I was thinking of this. I was thinking, you look back, the only real art and history that has lasted the test of time is anything made of stone, whether it's a carving or whatever, a monolith. We need to start doing this for our civilization, not just genome, because everything that we're doing, especially now that everything's digital, everything, like I can't even open a floppy disk. I can't check out an old video that I recorded on an old digital video.
It no longer works. Yeah.
All those
burnt CDs and DVDs I have, none of them work anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Bancroft, you've got a good point, but I think the Taliban would argue with you.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they'll obliterate it, it's stone or not.
They'll find all their stuff in there. What are these crystals? Smash. This goes again.
All right. Hey, everybody, we've got 94 people watching live. To the 94 people watching live, thank you for hanging out with us on this Friday as we kick off the weekend. Hope you're having a good time.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. So Craig, they follow the plan. they basically assemble human beings from scratch on Alpha Centauri, and you've got like a thousand people who are like created from nothing. Who's gonna dig the dishes and do the dishes?
Oh, yeah. How do you set up your class system from there? That's interesting. It's got to be preordained, right?
Well, the
Is
robots
that
will.
fair? Is that fair? Is that fair to preordain somebody's fate?
No. You just have the robots do it. You see, like.
Okay. So
I will.
wait. Okay, so
What's that?
you're going to tell me we're going to go to the expense, the financial and logistical and material expense of sending these prototypical human beings to Alpha Centauri so they can sit around and play Xbox.
I love it. Yes, why not? Well, I mean, they'll take a lot of selfies, so that'll work.
Yeah, Cranberry Landers doesn't think that. Oh, sorry, it moved on me. Yeah, he doesn't think building humans from scratch should be cost effective. But
I don't know.
They'll be able to
I've
just
helped
3D
build
print
3
them.
humans from scratch. Sorry, what's that?
They'll just be able to 3D print them. Like,
Yeah.
And Levi said everyone gets KP duty. We just give it to everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, is it Katy Perry duty?
Wait, would that be like alien slavery? Because like they wouldn't be human, or they wouldn't be from Earth, so they would be slave labor on. Oh, I don't know.
No,
that's opening a whole thing.
They covered this on Star Trek. Killing your own clone is still murder. It's been settled. All right, Craig, what's the next topic?
Okay, so our third and final topic for tonight. This one comes from Forbes. Earth is to get a new moon on September 29th, scientists say. So there is currently a asteroid in orbit called 2024 PT5. And it's going to enter our basically our atmosphere, and it's going to rotate around our planet until I believe it says like late in November, at which point it's going to shoot back out again and rejoin all the other asteroids in the asteroid belt. But yeah, we got a new visitor.
Will we be able to see it?
Not without a really good high-powered telescope. That small basic telescope people use in their houses, it won't cut it. You won't be able to see it with that.
That's no moon. That's all.
Fellas, I'm really disappointed. As you know, I'm an 80s kid. I love Duran Duran. They were wrong. They said it was going to be a new one on Monday, and this is the 29th is Sunday. I just feel disillusioned. Duran Duran let us down. They were trying to prognosticate, and they fell short.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is about this article that, I don't know, it irks me, and I don't know why. In the same way that a lot of people got irked with Pluto being demoted, this irks me that this thing is being promoted to moon status, like just so quickly. And I actually looked up on it, and it is actually very gray whether or not something can be classified as a moon. But I think, what happens a lot, scientists say something and then magazines or whatever, news sites, like, oh, how can we make this an actual article? Oh, there's going to be a new moon. Right. I think they would actually classify it as an irregular satellite. But
yeah. Look at the big brain on Bancroft. I like it.
That's definitely been discussed. I think you can read some of that too in the article. Jackknife asked how many moons are there. Interesting enough, there's actually other strange anomalies that do orbit the Earth or stay in a parallel orbit as the Earth. You could call them another moon. However, they do orbit the sun along with us. But yeah, our moon isn't the only thing that's floating around outside of Earth, believe it or not.
I don't know about you guys, but I like to be mooned. So double the mooning.
Have you seen the Starlink array?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
amazing.
It was a couple months ago. I was taking a walk, my after dinner walk, and I saw a thread of them. And I had that nanosecond where I thought it was like a UFO. I thought it was like a UFO.
You're like, finally.
No, it's Starlink. It is impressive. It is impressive.
Yeah. Welcome to the future.
Yeah, it's here. It's here. So, Mr. Bancroft, if the Earth's going to get a second moon, even for a short time, to what extent will this affect the long-standing, ongoing clandestine war between the werewolves and the vampires?
Uh-oh.
Does this tip the scale? Does this tip the scale?
This is an election year, and we do know that whether the werewolves or the vampires are ascendant affects US politics. That's been established. So this could really throw a monkey wrench in that whole system. You would think that this would be helpful for the werewolves, I imagine, because they get double. They get
Double
the
full
double
moon.
moon option.
you-
I mean, they might
do you
get
suppose-
two. They might get a constant full moon. I don't know how this thing is gonna, how it's.
Do you
gonna
suppose
interact.
that they're going to throw a werewolf at Trump next to kill him? Just wondering.
They got to try something,
Yeah,
Yeah,
one more
buzz.
time.
They're running out of
Yeah.
options.
That bumps right off.
Fucking
I know-
werewolf.
I know we don't like to jump into politics too much, but yeah, we like whatever. We do what we want. It's our own show. If people don't like it, so be it. Is everyone expecting the October surprise? Have you heard about this? What is likely to happen? Is this a new one for you?
I don't know.
I'm familiar with October surprises, and I was expecting to have Locktober, which I don't think they were going to have Locktober. Craig, what is the Vegas odd makers?
Okay, so as you know,
what are
I've
they
got,
saying is the most likely October?
He's got his ear to the ground. What is
I've
it?
got a pretty good conspiracy theory type person that
Okay.
Joe Biden is going to completely step down in October, and Kamala is going to become president in full in the month of October, going into the election as president.
Why? Because the
It'll-
incumbents are more likely to be elected. Is that
Right, just to give her more, I am
Little-
doing the
that's-
job. I am
little
she
poll bump.
already?
yeah.
She already wasn't voted on, was she, by the Democratic convention? So
Right.
that would be a double.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the October surprise that I'm expecting. So we'll see if I'm right.
Aaron, what would you prefer as an October surprise? A tactical nuclear exchange with Russia, or Kamala becomes president in fact?
Oh shit! It's like, well, here's a plate of shit, and here's a plate of shit. I don't know. I guess Kamala. Actually, you know what? I'm for the comedy, so I would say Kamala being our interim president for a month is hilarious, and I would much rather that than like millions of people being annihilated in a fiery ball. So, yeah, we'll say Kamala. Yeah.
Can you imagine her having to act presidential?
Right.
That would be a sight to see.
Have you guys ever seen so much of like imposter syndrome before? I really haven't. Like the nervous laughter and like she talks in circles. It's pretty. How do you not see it? Or how about this whole conspiracy theory? She's drunk all the time. It's like I mean, I've seen the video. Kind of convincing.
It's right around the corner. Like we're less than 2
A
months.
lot of
away
people
now.
have said that she is, haven't they? They've sort of come out, but I mean, I don't know how people say things. Whatever.
Right. Exactly. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so that's our.
Speaking of a lot of people,
Yeah.
we now have 102 people watching live. Thank you everybody who's tuning in and kicking off your weekend. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, definitely. Happy Friday.
So I don't think you have a trailer for your newest campaign, but I did pull the trailer for your last one. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to quickly play that for everyone that's watching. Here's the trailer for the previous book, Lucent, Painted Death.
You speak as though I have conquered death. I live death every day. I am surrounded by it, smothered by it. Look at you now. He would have everlasting life. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And how alike sleep is to death. It is a painted death.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Very loud.
Yeah, I don't have the greatest audio equipment. So if I could,
Neither
upgrade
do
my
I
studio-
now. So who did all the voice acting? Was that you or
Me.
the guys?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I whispered. I went like this, and then I went into Audacity and put all the reverb and gravelly kind of effects on it and everything. And yeah, it was fun to do. I mean, I can't really do it again though. But do something new. I know I might actually try and hire some actors for the next one. Get something fresh in there, but I'm not anywhere near doing another trailer just yet. Still have a lot of work to do.
So I pulled up the lucentcomic.com and I did put the link back in the chat. However, I still have the pin for your sign up. I think that's the biggest thing to emphasize is the sign up is pinned to the top of the chat for the third book. Obviously, I've got all kinds of questions to ask, but rather than bombard you with questions, would you like to talk through your website to indicate things and I can scroll through for you? It's up to you. Or
yeah, absolutely. So this is the main homepage. If you before doing that, but you can click through to that to the products. But if you scroll down,
here's your bam, you can buy one.
Get that banners there. Probably need to update them at some point. I've got most of the books now that are available. The site has reverted fully to a kind of a web store essentially. I still have some of the sort of campaigny elements on there as well, but it's mostly a web store where you can buy the books, the t-shirts, and the puzzles.
Okay.
So if you keep scrolling, there's the puzzles there.
Yeah, nice.
I think it was like was it Amanda that was making one, showing pictures on Twitter?
Yeah, I mean a ton of people have. I checked. I sold 110 puzzles since I've offered them. So a lot of people have grabbed them. Which when I originally did it, I just wanted to have a puzzle for myself, and I didn't know if anyone wanted them or whatever. But people, a whole bunch of people ended up buying them. So it's been a fun little thing, and it kind of fits with what I'm doing with the story in that it is a puzzle in the way the story is kind of presented. So it fits well, and people really like them. They're very hard though, because they're not. It's my art. I didn't design them to be puzzles. I just put my art on a puzzle. So some of them are actually very difficult. Because take a look at that one with the the kind of greeny cover there. That's a lot of green building that you'd have to figure out. I wouldn't.
Oh yeah.
Well, you just do the edges.
Do the Shantan Jetty one though. That one was a lot of fun.
You just find all the edges first. You go all the way around the outside and work.
Yeah.
Didn't you? Isn't that a fan? That's fan art, right? On the end, if you scroll over.
The Shantan Jetty one was a commissioned piece, but the one on the end is Dean James. He came second in the fan art competition.
Yeah, I thought I recognized that. That's great. How cool is that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool. Again, another one that's like a lot of pieces will be very similar as well, but good luck to anyone who tries it.
Yeah, so here's a link for the mailing list for the
That's right. Mind. So yeah, now this isn't actually the third book in the series. I mean, it will be the third book to come out, but it's not the continuation of the story from Pain to Death. This is a I guess you'd call it like a supplemental or something that Rod Looper has drawn for me. He still has a few pages left to go. He's on so many books. It's sort of like we're doing it whenever he has a moment.
His art is amazing. Like he's
really crushed it on these pages. This is more of a kind of a traditional action style comic book, and it's sort of a psychological action thing because it's all set inside a dream. So a lot of the conflict is about, I mean, it's written right there, the main character Ella, her fractured mind. And and the thing that's interesting about in the Lucent, dreams aren't just dreams. They do have a real world impact. So I'm very excited about this one. I'm doing the colors. I've written it. Rod has drawn it. And I'm currently in the process of getting it ready for coloring. I'm doing the flats at the moment, which is always the most exciting part of any comic book making journey.
Yeah, I hear that quite a lot.
Oh, it looks gorgeous. Look at that.
Yeah, I set this up as sort of a little character thing. You can click on them. You can read some interviews and things that I made with the characters that I had in the first book.
Yeah.
Just get to know a little bit more about the characters. So there's a whole bunch of them in there. And actually, I'm taking this step a little further right now. I'm making trading cards. So I'm going to do a set of 9 trading cards. Well, there'll actually be 9 main cards and then 2 special cards. But most people will be buying the 9, I imagine. And then you get some get lucky and get a 10th one. And then they'll be sort of the new things to sort of show off the characters and stuff.
Well, I remember. So I don't know if you remember, but me and a couple other guys, we did a whole read through of your comic and all that
Absolutely,
stuff. Yeah, and one of the things that we all liked was the end where you had interviews of your characters, and it's just it's such as a writer myself. It's so cool to see somebody else kind of go through their, talking with their characters kind of part. And then you also drew it all out. That takes a lot of effort and focus.
It was a lot of effort for something that people either really loved or they actually really hated.
That's crazy. Really, they really
hated
it.
A lot of people were just like, no, not interested. Don't care. This is whatever. So, but that's all right. I don't know. I love them. People who love them, they love them. So
yeah, I'm digging it.
I mean, you have different people who they're collectors market. They buy the books and they never open them. Some people open them, they explore the artwork. Some people really want to get into the lore, and it's just good that you offer that to all the various people depending on how much they want to get into it.
Yeah, that's true.
And on the back of the trading cards, I want to do a tiny little simple mini comic, maybe 4 panels or something. I've seen Kenneth Rocafort do that, where I want to drop more kind of Easter eggs and stuff for people, so it gives them extra incentive. A little bit like I peppered Easter eggs and clues all throughout those interviews as well.
Very cool.
So, yeah, looking forward to that. Doing that.
My mochaccino queen.
What
character? That's my Gilgamesh there. So I did have Gilgamesh appeared in the first 10 pages of Painted Death. He became a bit of a fan favorite during the draw streams, so I thought I'd put him in.
Very cool. Okay, now I gotta figure out how to get back. All right.
If you just click on the Lucent or anything, you'll go back to the homepage.
Perfect.
Yeah, a little bit of a explainer on the story.
Very nice. Okay.
So what do you use for your website?
I do everything through Shopify. And
I see.
That's been really good because Shopify is, I think, the world's biggest sort of consumer-facing e-commerce site. It's integrated with everything. I get to put these products under my YouTube videos. I get them on Google Merchant or whatever. I get to go onto Shopify Shop and stuff like that. And it's just everything is super easy. Everything is pretty simple to figure out. If you actually click on one of those books, I was able to essentially recreate a kind of a campaign page. We have the total there with the backers and everything.
Oh, wow.
I got to have everything underneath with all the pages and everything. So it ended up working out really well. Almost 1,000 backers. So people, trusted the site. They trusted the system. They thought it looked good enough to support. I get to have reviews on there. Not many people, there is an opportunity in the comment section of an Indiegogo page. I'm not sure about Kickstarter. I don't know. To have reviews. And I think, word of mouth and reader feedback is so critical in the indies. It really does, help set you apart from everyone else. So
So do you
Especially if
ever
you're
do like
yeah.
yeah, right? Do you ever do like conventions or anything? What's that like in Australia?
I was about to inquire for one. There's one here in Melbourne in December, but I know nothing about it. I've heard they're not very good, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I might just go first and then maybe wait next year. I'll have another book out.
Yeah, scope it out.
And then scope it out first, because I have no idea. I have no idea if anyone's going there to buy comics. I have no idea what they're selling them for. I don't know what the competition is like. No idea. So I think I might just go scope it out in December, check it out, and then maybe try for next year. Other than that, I mean, I don't know any. It's just really not that big of a thing. It's not like there's always a convention somewhere, or because there's only really 7 major cities here, and they're all really far away.
Right.
So it's not like these things are just happening all the time here.
Sure. Yeah, like in my area, there's like 3 states that I can kind of tour and do like small conventions. And I've seen, Australian maps and whatever. You guys are mostly on the coast, and like some are way over here and some are way down there. So that's why I was wondering, is like, how often do you even have conventions? So it doesn't sound like very often.
Yeah, it seems like this is the Oz Comic Con, and it tours from around those 7 or so cities, maybe not even that many, maybe like 4 cities throughout the year. So the one that's coming here is in December. Oh yeah, I'll go check it out. But there's no, I don't know any little local Melbourne conventions. Just maybe they happen. I'm not aware of it.
So with you being in Australia and all of these, these comics take a lot of effort and time and stuff. How do you have the time to do the comics while still dodging these giant toads and these spiders that will kill a man? And how do you do it?
I've only dodged the snake. That's a true story. I did almost step on the world's 2nd most venomous snake. That was a couple of days ago. And a lady called out to me and said, "Snake, look out!" And I was like, "Oh, we don't get the giant toads down this far. It's too temperate and cold for them. They stay up north. The sharks, I mean, don't go in the water.
Yeah, koala bears falling out of trees, right? That's a thing, right?
Yeah, but it's not that many big. I mean, we do have big trees around here, but it's so suburban. You have to kind of go out a bit further.
Oh, I see.
To the bush.
Yeah, where the hillbillies are.
Yeah. So I'm pretty safe. I'm pretty safe here in my cottage. No crocodiles.
These sequential pages are so cool. Like, look at all the skulls in this one. Like, how long did you?
A long time. A very long time.
Oh man.
Many draw streams.
Yeah.
Vibrant colors.
Absolutely.
I like this effect with the biker's helmet.
Really, dude. Yeah. That's like one of the best. It's one of the best panels.
Yeah.
I love that.
People ask about that, how I do the warping. I just draw it normally and then warp it. I'm not super. It's nothing more mysterious than that. I just know how to use Photoshop, and I just warp the line art.
Looks great. Great effect.
Yeah, Clip Studio Paint has put in warped perspective lines and everything. I haven't used them. I just do it normally and then bend it. I know what I know. Do it that way.
That's a great sequential pages.
Thank you.
So 2 of my main questions. So obviously you've moved away from crowdfunding, I'm guessing. Do you still use Indiegogo or any of those sites, or no?
I put it on Indiegogo and Kickstarter, but I think everyone who wanted to back it backed it on my site. Which is sort of like, I guess, a pre-sale crowdfund blend. I don't know. I did a whole thing where I asked people, like, what is the difference? What is a crowdfund versus a pre-sale? I know, at both ends of the spectrum, it's pretty clear, but as you start to get in towards a blend, it becomes a bit hazy. It doesn't really bother me either way. Right. But yeah, Indiegogo and Kickstarter. The first time I did a Kickstarter, it did well because they gave me a projects we love. And then the second one, it just,
Mhm.
if you're not constantly driving people to it, and as well, I think on Kickstarter it's more about the cheesecake
Right.
sort of stuff a lot of the time, unless you have the ability to really drive an audience over there. And a lot of my audience, they're not really fans of Kickstarter, so it was like, whatever. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be doing it again.
Okay.
Everything seemed to go very well on the site. There's a few hiccups with changing shipping addresses and stuff like that, but other than that,
it seems like you've developed your brand enough that you don't need it.
That's what I'm thinking. So, and I do like how it's all branded and contained, everything here. So I might just continue doing it like this. For instance, when I do the trading cards, they'll be a lot more like a pre-sale. I'll put them up and I'll sell them as a pre-sale for 60 days, only because I want to know exactly how many rare cards to print, because they're going to be like 1 in 10, 1 in 3. So I need to know that number before I print them.
I'm in a similar boat where it's like the comic is done, all the art is finished and all that stuff. Now it's just like a question of, well, how much do I actually need to at least fulfill campaign?
Yeah. And how many copies do I print? That's kind of why I went on to Indiegogo, because I had a really big campaign, the first one, but obviously all of those people came to my site, so there weren't that many left to sell on Indiegogo.
It doesn't seem like it matters what site you use, as long as you funnel them to there.
Exactly. So it's
not a lot of window shoppers.
Right. Most people want to back the creator. It doesn't matter where you go; they want to support you. So
and the scene has changed so much in the last 2 or 3 years to what it was, where everyone was really kind of, you had to be an Indiegogo. That was where everyone was, and it was working great. And then things started happening, and but that was one of the main catalysts for me to make my own site. Was
hey, what's up, John?
Lack of communication with Indiegogo and weird things happening with things showing up, and are they shadow banned? Is there being whatever's going on? And then there's also, now they're changing their terms of service. I've seen them change their terms of service on the fly, and I was like, look, I'm just gonna do my own site.
The tipping problems where they would sneak
tipping.
That tip in there. So for myself, like I've wanted to back your book since the beginning. The only reason I didn't back it the first time on Indiegogo was the shipping exceeded the book, and me, I had my little meltdowns, and that was enough for me to back out. And then the second one, I was trying to be a Fund My Comic loyalist at the time. Like you said, people change. But I very much, now that you've got 3 books out, you've got I want to get them right. I don't want to say them. You got the Lucent, you got Painted Death, and you got Fractured Mind. I very much want to grab all 3 books. I want to grab all 3 at the same time when the newest one goes live. Will there be a bundle for all 3, basically for those of us trying to save money, or is it better just to go to your site and you can just click all 3 as add-ons?
I did a lot of bundling on this one. Most people bought in bundles, and with the bundles, you get a discount not only on the books, especially the bigger the bundle. I mean, it's I think on the higher ones, it was like you would save $50 or $60 compared to if you just put them all in your cart. And then the shipping was detrimentally reasonable for me. Ship in the time that I put the Painted Death campaign up and the time I fulfilled, shipping went up twice with Australia Post. So that really stung. But we thankfully got it all out. It was literally down to like $1,000 difference in terms of having the amount there that I needed to get it shipping, which, considering it was a $13,500 US shipping bill. It was like, that was a big stress, but we all got it done. It was all good. So I do try to be as reasonable as I can be with the shipping. I think I am pretty competitive, considering I've seen people charge more than me for shipping within the US, but it's probably not going to be $10. It's probably going to be more like $15. for the shipping. So hopefully, with the bundle, that works out to be okay.
So how does that work? You do you like send like a bulk shipment and then have a distributor kind of send it out from there?
No, it's actually a lot more reasonable to ship from Australia to the US than it is from the US to Australia.
Oh,
the US to Australia is a joke. It's a farce. US to Australia to US is better, and I have a business shipping account. So the more shipping I do, the cheaper it gets.
Oh, nice.
So there's that, but it still is something. If it's just like one book, I think it's like I can send a T-shirt for $10. I can send a book for 15, but not much cheaper than that. But then I've seen plenty of people charge 15 for shipping all over the place.
Right.
So
yeah,
it's just the sad reality of sending physical items. It's
here's a messed up thing I shared with Aaron and Jason. I can ship a book from where I live. I'm East Coast Canada. I can ship a book to California for 14 US, but to ship it to British Columbia, it costs me 25. So in my own country, it costs an extra $10 than it does.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
that is legitimately that's the only really great shipping I can offer is within Australia, compared to everywhere else.
So for the 126 of us watching, like I think everybody who's excited, and I've been wanting to get my hands on your book since the beginning. I want to grab all three. When does Fractured Mind go live? As you said, you're going to do the bundle. I think everyone will want to grab all three books at that time, just so we can basically write that on our calendars.
I'm shooting for mid next year, because just with the way I have been doing everything and the way that's through my own site, I actually realized I don't get certain protections that you might get if you were to go with Indiegogo. So in terms of like taxes and everything and selling and the way the Australian government sees pre-sales and everything, like it really behooves me to get my books out a lot quicker than I have been. So I'm going to be shooting to get either all of this done or the vast majority of it all done before going live. So that's why it's going to be a little bit later. So I'm thinking sort of like June, 2025 when this one goes live.
I guess my last question is, would you be willing to come back on our show when this goes live?
Absolutely, I'm always willing to come on. Yeah, 100%.
We'll see how many of these ones we can get backers on, because I'm very excited to back you. Like
I already got a backer from your chat, so thank you very much.
There we go.
Someone jumped on board. Thank you for that. So all the books that are on the site now, they ship out straight away. I've got them in stock. They're right there behind me.
I suggest also picking up a T-shirt.
Please do. We got tons of T-shirts left in a bunch.
I like the fabric. Yeah, I like the fabric, and the design is great. The colors and everything.
The T-shirts are printed on a premium cotton tee. That's like we went for the top range, and the guys that do it, it's screen printed, on a proper machine using these inks. Those inks, I swear, I had the first one I did of that I took to Tampa, and that was over a year ago, and it still looks exactly the same as when I went to pick it up, and I've worn it a ton of times. So I'm glad I spent a little bit extra getting a super high quality tee and screen printer.
Yeah, it ain't no iron on.
A beautiful shirt go through the wash once and it comes out. What the
exactly? Yeah. And that's unfortunately what can happen when you sort of go to a lot of these direct to garment print sites. Is you get it and it looks great, and then you wash it and all the colors out and starts cracking and stuff.
Yeah,
or it just shrinks.
Exactly.
I'm kind of a big guy.
Those T-shirts are pre-shrunk, so you're in good hands. I mean, and I come from T-shirt design. That's my background. That's where I really honed my art.
I was going to bring that up. I'm glad you did.
Yeah. So I thought, well, I probably should, make a really nice T-shirt if I'm going to be getting into T-shirts. I've been talking a big game.
It's reputation. I get it.
Exactly. It's honor at this point.
Very cool.
I love all the iconic designs and stuff. Like the girl falling, or like
Mhm.
where she's like raising up in the air, the old like statue and stuff. All that stuff is awesome. It's so like you've already set up iconic shots
Yeah,
for your
and
brand.
that's been on purpose. There's a lot of I use a lot of repetition in the Lucent, where I keep showing the same symbology, the same themes, and keep repeating using the same words again to really sort of build up certain things to have some gravitas to them, so that the reader sees, oh,
Yeah,
there's some meaning here. Why am I always having Ella falling
right.
all over the place? And all the certain symbols and certain items just keep appearing throughout the books. So I've made a conscious effort as well to sort of present that in my drawstrings as well, and keep sort of showing this sort of stuff, so that people identify that with the Lucent.
Yeah,
Similar colors as well. I do have a limited palette on the page, and I'll use that those color palettes, and to evoke a certain feeling. And now people are starting to say, I can see, when you post art, that's your art. And especially in the colors, like they're your colors, I recognize
that's
that. That's
awesome.
really cool.
Yeah,
That's been something that's been a good
especially
surprise.
if you're gonna have like some people come in and do line work for you, like you were saying
Mhm.
for Fractured Mind,
Yeah,
but your colors are on it, so it stays
exactly. Yeah.
consistent.
Originally, I was thinking of hiring another colorist, and then I thought, I don't know, I wanted to look like it's part of the series as well.
Well, you
And
got
I
to put
think
a little bit of your soul into it.
that's what I think. Yeah.
That's your baby. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm posting a link to your YouTube, just so anyone in the chat is not subscribed.
Cranberry Langus writes, falling wakes you up from dreams, correct? Remember, the first book is called Waking Dream. There's a lot of symbology going on. And the cool thing about dreams is we all have very similar dreams. We've all had dreams where we're falling and we wake up, or you're stuck, or so you can play with that, and everyone innately sort of understands these things. It's really fun.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm excited to get these books.
Again, there's a iconic shot with the big statue and all that. That's so great.
Yep. Yeah, the colossal kind of scorpion men statues. Yeah. That's taken from the Epic of Gilgamesh. And in the epic, the men he comes across are actual scorpion men, sort of like oversized men.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to do is, with the Lucent, there's a lot of historical retelling in the story. And I always like playing with the idea of, all right, you've got these myths and legends that have been handed down over the generations. They get exaggerated and everything. What would be cool to show, like, imagine what it actually might have been, were this real thousands of years ago. And I just like the idea that many, many, many years ago, thousands of years ago, people were building these great, big, crazy things that just were of years afterwards, and they're only being rediscovered now, and that sort of stuff. So I like playing with a little bit of that. It's fun for me.
Well, and what was it originally? Gilgamesh befriended a wild man or something like that. Is that how that works?
Yeah, Enkidu the wild man. That's actually why he went off on this journey, because Enkidu died, and then Gilgamesh, who was always sort of laughing in the face of death, all of a sudden is now terrified of dying.
Yeah.
So he goes and he seeks out the immortal man to learn how he can live forever. And that's
how do I do it?
That's where I tied into my story, because there is immortality in the Lucent and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. It's super cool. I love it. The oldest story that we know of that's recorded. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, why not play with it,
Yeah, it's great. It just really, when I came across like, oh, this like thematically just fits so perfectly into what I'm already doing. So it's like,
what was it that attracted you to like ancient Babylon, old Jewish stuff? Like, what was it that attracted you to all that, to kind of like put that as kind of the coat hanger of your story, if that's a good metaphor?
a lot of this stuff is foundational to our current civilization. You know, and like the Epic of Gilgamesh has within it the very first oldest flood story.
Yeah.
You know, and then that was repeated across many different cultures all over the northern hemisphere. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And so you've got these sort of foundational civilizational elements, and in the Lucent you've got these characters that have literally been around since those times, interacting with us today. You know, how does that all work?
Yeah.
I was always just, I mean, I'm a huge history buff. I'm really big into linguistics.
Yeah.
I love all this stuff, and it just really, I didn't understand why I wanted so much to kind of draw from this for the story until I was speaking with Narwhal, and he was like, it brings the reader into the story because it makes them feel like, oh, this, what I'm reading could have actually happened. It could be my world, and I just didn't know about it because I'm reading about it now, and it adds that extra layer of interactivity with the audience that just makes it more enjoyable to read. And you know, I just find it all super intriguing across mythology, religious history, civilizational history. There's so much mystery there, and everything just looks bigger and more important and grander the longer you go back.
Yeah.
In
I agree.
time.
Monolithic, even. Yeah.
Exactly. It adds gravitas to the story that you're telling.
So I got a question for you. You know, with the influx of Marxism and stuff like that, well, will you be trying to placate those kinds of talking points about Gilgamesh and Enkidu having a gay relationship? You suppose you'll be writing that in as well?
It's not the Gilgamesh in the story is he comes in and then he's part of the story, but he's not super important to it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't come into the story. Like it doesn't. It's not.
So
It's
we
not
don't know his how he identifies and his genders and all that stuff.
No. There is a line in it where, I mean, it's just very quick. He says, if I can just read it here. He says, my story begins, Lord, with the passing of my beloved companion Enkidu, who was taken from me ere I could be humbled. You know, that's real. Like, you know, he was his companion. I mean, surely.
Well, they were obviously getting it on.
Surely
right?
in the story, they get pretty close. It doesn't matter. It's not really.
Well, and then how was it that they tamed him, right? They like got a hooker and she enticed him with sex and totally civilized the wild man.
But then all he wanted to do was go gallivant with Gilgamesh in the forest and have their parties, and they always seem to be romping around topless.
He lost his cherry, and he's like, "Let's party up, dude!"
Hopping down trees and fighting.
With everything in history and stories, I mean, homosexuality has always been prevalent. I don't think anyone ever had a problem with that per se. It was when that became the main story element. Like, here is Superman. You love Superman. Here is Batman. Guess what? They're boinking each other. How does that make you feel?
I think historically it's a recurring theme where if you look at the end of Rome, you know, you get hedonism and just the breakdown of any sort of decency, public decency, and you just sort of you take these things and just they go crazy with them. And I think we're seeing that today with trans kids and drag story time hour and, you know, P Diddy parties and whatever it is. It's like there's sort of a indecency and hedonism that creeps into society and becomes people try to normalize it and break down all of the structures that a civilization needs, and then we're seeing just like birth rates plummeting.
It becomes social leverage. I mean,
the mouse utopia.
Yeah, the same reason P. Diddy made those videos was so he could exploit and use people. The same reason the media and mainstream is making those things so prevalent is so they can exploit those things for their own personal gains. They can dangle them and wave this virtue signaling superiority. And if you don't, agree with us or do what we say, then they call you a bunch of names, right? It's basically the same. It's the same thing P. Diddy's really it is.
I don't want Diddy dangling anything in front of me, but thank you.
no Diddy dangling. Yeah, and a lot of this stuff, it's never going to be explicit in the Lucent, but it is underpinning the story thematically, because it does deal on the grand scale. It does deal with the rise and fall of civilizations. What happens? You do move from epoch to epoch, different eras of time. I think a lot of us have a sense that is potentially happening right now, where the West seems to be like driving its own decline, and the what allows that to happen, a rise in authoritarianism and erosion of liberties and all this sort of stuff. So that is all a kind of, you almost call it like a it's in the subconscious of the Lucent. It's subtext, but it's not and the main driver of the story is still, I'm trying to tell an entertaining, crazy, weird, mind-blowing
well, the main point, or I wouldn't say the main point, I guess one of the main themes going on in the first one was like the relationship, the female relationship with the male in her dreams, right? And I think it felt more like the core of the story then. And then you also tacked on like the ancient history stuff, and which is cool and intriguing and stuff like that. But really, I wanted to know this relationship between this man and this woman, just some basic stuff. It was, it kept you
funny you should say
more.
that. So in Painted Death, they're together the whole time. They're sort of almost, there's pretty much kind of, it's being chased in a way, and you learn a lot more about what he's capable of, and she gets tested, and that's sort of the main driver of Painted Death. And then this Fractured Mind book is actually about them meeting in a dream. So their first
that's interesting.
And what she is doing and why she does the things she does. She has her own personal trauma and how that's sort of affected her, and and what's he all about, and where's he coming from, and how does he fit in. So it's all about that. So it is as a supplemental, it's like you don't need it to continue on the story of the main books, but it's going to really enrich the whole experience, and it's going to give a whole ton of clues as to what this is all about and who he might be and how he fits in, and also to her motivations, because at the moment her motivations themselves are sort of ambiguous, and I've done that on purpose. That's sort of her arc as a character, what she is really all about and how she's going to deal with it. Well,
I like the feel of secret young love on the run, I don't know, it's cool. I see a few of the things in there that I really like, just between the two of them, and they're not even necessarily together a whole lot in the first book, so you got a good thing going on.
They're together pretty much, I'd say 70% of the book, and then there'll be this book, and then on the follow-up book to the series, it sort of continues right on from there.
So how far does the Lucent, is the Lucent going to be something you plan on writing in perpetuity, or is there an eventual end?
No, we're following an arc here. So these first two books represent what you would consider in normal storytelling the end of the first act, So there will be 5 books in total. I'm planning, and that will conclude, you know, this story. That will be that, you know, these two and that story. So yeah, it is leading up to something, and I'm trying, you know, based on reader feedback, I'm trying the best that I possibly can to make sure that each book has enough of a satisfying story contained in and of itself, where they have a you know, something that they are trying to say achieve or something like that in that story, whether they fail or, you know, succeed, but it's all part of the longer story. So yeah.
So you plan on just retiring? You're just going to retire from your day job after the 5th one, or how?
With the cost of living in Australia, it's like, well, dude, you would know up in Canada. I mean, some of these places, it's like, it's crazy.
Yes.
It's I don't know. I'd have to move out to, I don't know, Indonesia or something to be able to make a living off this at the moment. But who knows for the future? I'm getting really amazing reviews on Painted Death, so I feel like I've kind of got something really special here. I always thought I did. I always believed I did. But now finally, you know, I'm giving people enough stuff that they can kind of start to see it for themselves. So that's really encouraging. But God, I would hope. I mean, I would love to just work all day, every day on my book.
Right.
That'd be the dream.
So you said there's 5 parts to this story.
Mhm.
Is that because there's 5 stages of sleep?
I did not think of that. No, it isn't, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe,
He's like,
I
I'm
love
using it.
Kismet.
maybe retroactively you can kind of tie
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Tie it in somehow.
That actually, it's scary how often that actually happens. That
Nice.
you know, I've come across a piece of information like that just so happens to fit perfectly what I've already sort of set up. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe.
Cool.
Jason tapped into your subconscious.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, you never know.
Harmonics.
Exactly.
Does anyone in the chat at this time have any questions at all? Please throw them in, and
Wolverines from Australia.
By the way, Cranberry, thank you for all the jokes. I've been laughing at all the jokes he's been making.
Yeah, thanks for showing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
131 in the chat. Yeah, man, I want to grab these books right now. It's just like,
Yeah. So I've got the first one, and so I'm looking forward to rereading that one and get number 2. And
yeah, man,
it should be a treat.
Thank you.
What about digitals? Do you have digital for 2?
I did have digital while the campaign was live, but I think I'm gonna do what Rini has done and move to what a lot of people have done, not just Rini. A lot of people move to Global Comics, for digital, and probably sell a it's like an access thing or something like that, or whatever, however it works over there. And I think eventually, after time, you know, because once you get up to that many books, I mean, it's almost unreasonable to ask someone new, hey, well, if you want to read, I'm putting out the 4th or 5th book, you got to go back and spend all this money on all. So I think, you know, I'll just have to have a digital option for catch up, and you know, if people want to then go buy the physicals, then they can.
It helps. It helps. For like reviews and stuff. One of the best things was when you gave me that digital version of issue 1. I mean, you know, because then I could share the bright colors and all that stuff and go back and forth easier. So I don't know. It's helpful just to have a digital as well.
Yeah, I've seen a familiar face there, Tank Ferret. I haven't seen him in ages.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, right.
Good to see you. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to mention or for me to pull up before we wrap up the show, Michael?
No, just subscribe to my YouTube channel, Michael Bancroft. Easy to find. And as mentioned earlier, please sign up to the mailing list, because from going forward, I'll always have an exclusive mailing list discount for early bird, you know, backers. That'll be a recurring thing, so that'll be the only chance for you to get that. And obviously, I'm posting other things. I love doing giveaways and things like that. So they just sort of happen sporadically as they go.
And you said you're going live in June, July. Like, please come back on our show, and I promise you, like, I'll definitely back you live when you come on.
Thank
Cranberry
you.
has a great question. He says, "What does your family think of your book story?"
My daughter likes it. I don't know if she's read the latest one. She liked the first one, but she's just turned 12, so it might be a little bit above her head. So, maybe like 13, 14 would be probably the earliest I think you'd really start to absorb it.
Yeah,
my wife loves it. She's eagerly waiting the next one, just like everyone else. So
that's
the
great.
trick is with the trading cards. I give my son all the trading cards. He likes those.
Yeah,
and the books
yeah. My son likes the stickers.
Yeah,
puts them all.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, now those stretch goals, they do get put to use. What's Vulcan?
Exactly.
There we go. Signed up on the website.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, likewise. I'm in the same boat, Vulcan. Like me and Vulcan, I'm telling you, come back on our show. We'll both back you right there live.
And I don't send many emails, so it's not like I'm going to spam you or anything. So you can sign up, and you don't have to worry that I'm going to just be blasting you.
By the way, the 135 people watching, if you're wondering about the sign up for the third book, it is pinned to the top of the chat on my YouTube. You just go right there. It's the pin post. Click it and then sign up. Drop your email. Hope you got a lot of signups tonight. I don't know if
Thank you
keeping track of that, but
to go check.
Oh, what's Cranberry's latest?
Jackknife. Wrap it up.
Yeah.
He's our timekeeper. He's the one who says it.
Yes.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up, B.
So, my last piece, I just want to say, if anyone is here and is familiar with Michael, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for the community. As a new creator coming in, Michael, it was a big push for all the new creators and the new books and the new campaigns, and was a driving force to make me believe that I could make a comic book. Always been super positive, always been supportive of brand new creators taking a shot. I know you had to tweak your show a little bit and made a rule that where people had to get like 100 signups before you would bring them on. And I understood the logic. And I had to tell people, hey, look, he was bringing people on and like they had zero audience or appeal, and it was just a waste of everyone's time. It's a reasonable request to get 100 signups before they come on your show. But thank you so much for all the support that you've done.
Oh man, I wish I could do more. Everyone who's making comic knows how time consuming it is, and find that balance. I wish I could help more, but you have to kind of pick your battles. But I've loved every day being on YouTube and helping everyone out and seeing not everyone succeeds to the top, but a lot of people do pretty well. So
offering such a great
like a whole part of that,
offering such a great marketplace, just for people know they can go to Bancroft and you're going to have a launch stream with a new comic that's worth the attention. So that in itself is worth it. And it's so cool that you've got that kind of niche in your bag. Nobody else is really doing that. So that's awesome. Thank you.
We're trying to on this channel. We try to.
Yeah,
it's creators supporting creators, right? I mean,
we're not quite doing the awesome launch streams, but Bancroft, you're known for it, so that's cool. Thank you.
We have a lot of fun on them. Yeah, we do.
For real. Yeah, the Bancroft bump. TM.
So is there any final points before we close tonight's episode and everyone goes off and enjoys their weekend?
Yeah, we've got 134 people watching live. Everybody, thank you for taking time to hang out with us. Share some laughs. Look at this project here, which is fantastic. Go check it out. Everybody have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you next week. Aaron, do you have any parting words?
Yeah, if you haven't checked it out yet, go check out my comic, Immortal Rising #2. It's on Indiegogo right now. I've got covers by Corey Barton and Jimmy Reyes, as well as all that amazing art from Jose Garcia. I mean, we're doing great so far with some help from Mr. Bancroft as well. So, yeah, go check that out. Follow me on Twitter, Immortalizing1, or if you are not watching this on my YouTube, sub and like as well. So I'm close to 400. So give me to 400.
Awesome. All right. I got my closing video. It's always 3 news stories and something else I threw in there. Other than that, again, thank you so much for joining us, Michael. I really hope you come back on when it launches, because I want to grab those books. I really got the itch. But in any case, everyone who's watching, thank you so much, and have a great weekend.
Honor some remarkable individuals and groups. Every Ig Nobel Prize winner has done something that first makes people laugh and then makes them think. For discovering that many mammals are capable of breathing through their anus.
First and foremost, thank you so much for believing the potential of anus for breathing potential.
Scientists at the University of Southampton have developed a new way to store data that could protect humanity's genetic information for billions of years. This 5D memory crystal can hold up to 360 terabytes and is designed to resist extreme heat, radiation, and physical damage. Led by Professor Peter Kazansky, the team used fast lasers to write data into tiny spaces within the crystal, making it incredibly strong and durable. The entire human genome has been stored on this crystal, which could serve as a future guide for reviving humanity or endangered species, housed in the Memory of Mankind archive, a time capsule in a salt cave in Austria. The crystal includes a visual key explaining the basics of life, and DN, a structure to help future civilizations, whether human or alien, understand the information. This crystal holds a Guinness World Record for its strength, able to withstand temperatures up to 1000 degrees Celsius. Its design is similar to NASA's Pioneer plaques, which were sent into space as messages to potential extraterrestrial life. While we can't yet bring back extinct species, the 5D memory crystal opens up possibilities for long-term data preservation, safeguarding not only human history but also the genetic information of endangered species for billions of years.
Okay, so the moon will soon be getting a temporary friend.
According to a new study, a tiny asteroid will begin to orbit Earth starting September 29th and will essentially act as a mini moon. Researchers discovered it last month during routine monitoring, and it's been given the name 2024 PT5, and it's only going to be there until November 25th before it returns to an asteroid belt revolving around the sun.
Unfortunately, you will not be able to see it with the naked eye. Experts say the only way it can be viewed is using telescopes used by professional astronomers.
But I'll bet astronomy clubs would love to have you out at night and look at it.
Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing?
It'd be cool.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm talking all about the city of brotherly love. Sit back and eat a Philadelphia cheesesteak. Oh, yummy food. Philadelphia is a wonderful city. Oh, yes, it is. It's a city of brotherly love. They got the Liberty Bell going ring-a-ding-ding-dong in Philadelphia. Oh yeah, Benjamin Franklin saying, come on to my city, check it out, Rocky Balboa gonna punch you in the face. Yes, he is in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is the best city in the whole world. Have a cheesesteak. Philadelphia's got a lot of nice neighborhoods. Oh yeah, a lot of sports fans in Philly. They get mad when the team loses. Santa Claus runs on the field and they say boo.